right, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, going live now. I'm testing. All right,
Test,
all
test.
good.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
go ahead.
Cool.
So, we're going to do a quick little recap. Last time that we played, Maestro and Cico were basically traveling through this like large cave that was made of crystals that was inside of a mountain range. And while they were in there, they ended up being teleported to a different plane that almost acted like a mirror. And inside of this cave were these beings that were made of crystals. And they looked like they were made out of the same substance as like the very walls that make up this entire mountain. And their purpose was to protect this arrow that kind of acted like a key. And you guys were able to figure out a way to escape this other plane that they pulled you into by using that arrow as a key to shatter the barrier, and you were able to go back to your plane of existence. You guys then took this arrow key with you and ended up coming into the room that you see on the screen.
Oh, Luce, your cam froze.
No. That's okay. So
That's awesome. I love that.
Love that for me.
That's okay.
But in this room, you saw two very large statues that had bows and arrows. And after investigating the room, you noticed that the arrows were pointing towards a central statue that had a book open. Cico ended up flying over to the statue that was in the middle of the room that had the book open and noticed that there was a hole in the statue's chest. You guys figured out that by plunging this arrow into the chest of the statue, it opened up a portal that was in the middle of the room and sucked you guys inside of it. And that's where we left off.
Hell yeah.
Did I miss anything, or is that...
No, that was perfect. Yeah, that was great.
All right,
was it.
cool. I totally skipped
That's
over
what I
the forest
remember.
that you guys were in, but
Yeah.
fuck that forest.
Faces
So-
and trees and shit. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fuck that forest.
So
Whoa.
you guys get sucked
Whoa.
into the portal that's in the center of the room.
Okay.
And before your eyes, you see a flash of gold, followed by bright blues and purples, and you see flashes of lights off in the distance. And it looks like the night sky, but in colors that are brighter than you've ever seen before. And that's when you realize it looks like the night sky because you're in the night sky, or what you perceive to be the night sky. You are moving very quickly through this large expanse of stars and different nebulas, and just the entire astral plane is just moving in front of your eyes very quickly.
It's like a light speed, kind of like we're flying through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's all coming past your vision very quickly.
Okay.
And then you notice that there's a central star that you're moving very quickly towards. And right as you're about to crash into it, you see like a sudden flash of bright light before nothing.
Oh, okay.
And now we will cut to
Okay.
Quill. You are sitting at your desk. It is an average day. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Am I moving the
if you
map
s-
for you guys, or?
Nope.
Okay, cool. I'm just like zoomed in for stream.
Okay. if you look towards the bottom of the map, you'll see yourself, Quill.
Yep.
All right, cool. You are sitting at your desk. It has been kind of a boring day. Not too many things have appeared. You are currently eating a delicious sandwich, and you are playing with a puzzle box that appeared not too long ago. Your uncle, after inspecting it, deemed it to be non-dangerous, and so he allowed you to keep the puzzle box and try to solve it. And that's kind of been your afternoon. You've gotten a little bit frustrated with it, but if your uncle gave it to you, you know that he solved it, and so there is a way to solve this thing.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me.
Intelligence check. All right, let's. Just a normal check.
You can use your like intelligence modifiers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I got a 12. That's my +1.
Okay. You were previously basically had a part of it out, and you realized that instead of pulling on it, you had to push it in, and it opens up, and you realize that it's a music box. And here. Inside of the music box, there's a little note from your Uncle Wyatt. And basically it says that, I know that you've been a little bit frustrated lately, but if you just be patient, things are going to be looking up real soon. And after you're done reading that note, you notice that one of the stars above you changes color very slowly, and it turns into a bright red color that you haven't seen before. Normally, you're used to being surrounded by all of these stars, and behind you, there's like an entire waterfall of stardust that just fades into the ethereal sea. But this one is different. You get up from your desk and you move out of the way because it makes you a little bit nervous.
Okay.
And after the star turns very bright red, you see two large figures, larger than they should be, falling from the ceiling, fall through in front of your desk. And it throws you off guard. You see a small green person and a small bird person, but not a type of bird that you've seen before.
Okay. Yeah, I like look up and I see this red and I'm like, oh. And then when they land, I'm like, I want to put the puzzle box down. And I have my sandwich in my hand. I want to put it down also, like half bitten. I just like stare at them for a second. I want to like see if like they're breathing.
Are we perfectly conscious, Lewis?
So from your perspective, you see bright light and then nothing.
Nothing.
And then all of a sudden, you see stone in front of you, and then you smack the ground. It hurts, but it doesn't do any damage. And your eyes are kind of adjusting for a second, but you slowly like come to and things come in focus before you see
prone?
a tall... Yeah, you're prone.
Oh, okay.
You see a tall owl wearing robes looking down at you.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Something that I've ever seen before?
You've seen owls, probably an owl person, but you haven't met this one before.
Okay.
Can I speak to them?
Of course you can.
I like after I say that like these two individuals kind of like clearly they're okay, at least they're alive. Greetings. What realms do you rule?
What realms do we rule? Whoa. I rule like part of the springtime. Emily does, not me.
He comes from a place of
The Feywild. You know the Feywild? Are we? No, we're not in the Feywild. We just went through space.
the Feywild.
Are we?
Yes.
But yeah, I'm from the Feywild, the springtime.
Okay. What would I know about the Feywild?
You've definitely read of the Feywild.
Okay.
It's a realm that is ruled by magic more than reason. And you would be familiar that the Feywild tends to have... Sorry. Sorry, my throat.
Right.
The Feywild tends to have different areas that are ruled by different seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Spring, summer, winter, fall. And so hearing that this person helps rule over the area of spring, you assume that they would probably be something related to an archfey, because you've heard of the Feywild being ruled by archfays and other powerful beings. So you assume this person's probably an archfey or works for one.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yes, Faye. And I just kind of like bow in respect.
Whoa. No. Never happened
Welcome.
before to me. Thank you.
Forgive me for if I'm speaking out of turn, but what's the reason for your visit?
We are not sure. I come from a place that is nothing like the Feywild. It has humans and other things. Like I'm not sure how to describe it. I don't know. I've only ever seen the Feywild. So I'm kind of stuck and lost. And I met him, and I point up, and because he's a little bit taller than me, right?
Yeah, by like a couple inches.
Yeah, I look up and I met him. I look up, and then we sort of just landed here.
Going through a portal to get away from like still monsters, and now we're here. It's the second portal I've gone through today.
Would you know how to get back to the realm of humans and goblins and other things like that?
Would I know?
Hearing this throws you off. One, normally anyone that enters the library would appear in the Hall of Judgement first. Nowhere else in the library should they have access to before entering the main portal. So the fact that they've fallen from the ceiling is very confusing to you. And now they speak of entering the world of mortals, which should be beyond the capability of people that are on this side of the outer worlds. So you kind of get excited. You hear someone is from the mortal realm, and that's a place that you normally don't have access to. You don't know directly of a way to get to the mortal world, but you figure one of your elders might.
Okay. For a second I thought maybe Grandma Edith has a new way to transfer guests over, but apparently not. Maybe it might be best we speak to her.
Who is this Grandma Edith?
My grandmother. Do you not have grandmothers in your lineage?
Ooh,
I
got grandmother. Plural.
Yes.
I don't think goblins they dissociate with family, so
it's
weird.
Understood. Where are my manners? And I want to like take half my sandwich. This is a sandwich. If you would like some, it's bread with ingredients.
What type of ingredients?
The hospitality is next here.
It's wheat bread. It's a soft bread with you have lettuce. You have it's all vegetables. Lettuce, tomato. It's a whole grain. Yeah, it's a whole grain. It has seeds and nuts in the bread. Lettuce, tomato,
seeds and nuts. Yes, sir.
Cucumber.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Chico,
say
you're
there's
right at
zero
home.
meat in this sandwich. It's all just like different varying vegetables, and I like
Oh my
offer
god!
half to you
Vegetables
to
and
split.
seeds and such.
Thank you
The
very
things
much.
birds crave. Yep, you're just picking at it. Aggressively picks at the sandwich.
Yeah. It just
I'm
like
an
destroys it,
intimidating
like
fellow.
like it just
Yeah.
crumbles.
Only when I'm not eating.
Yeah.
Like Cookie Monster. Just
seeds
crumbs
everywhere.
going everywhere.
I'm like a little taken aback by just how casual they ate the sandwich. I'm used to being like very cordial.
Yeah. People
Yeah.
Oh, do I
usually
need-
like have manners at the library.
Sweep up. Do I need to sweep this up, or is someone going to take care of that?
I'll take care of it. No worries, no worries.
Yeah.
I got feathers. I'm gonna sweep it up. I'm gonna sweep it up.
So Quill.
I just reach down and sweep it up a little bit, and then throw all the crumbs in my mouth.
Meanwhile, I am just like grabbing the small crumbs that land off on his body and just like taking it off like his shoulders and like arms. Because the crumbs are just flying everywhere. So I'm just like, I guess I'll take little bits of what I can.
If I notice that, I don't want to disroll it too much, but if I notice that, I'm gonna offer my. I have a few bites out of the other half, but it's still like a quarter of a sandwich. I'm gonna offer that because I feel bad now.
To me
Oh, did
directly?
Yes, to you
I
directly.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I will
sorry. I took
graciously
the whole
accept.
half. Ate the whole
Oh
thing.
no,
I'm
it's
so
quite
sorry.
alright. It's quite alright.
I am so sorry. I thought it was like I should have cut half and given it to you. I'm so sorry, Maestro.
It's okay, bird friend.
So, Quill, to the right of your desk,
Okay.
you would be familiar with this, but the other two have never seen anything like this before. There is a blob that's sitting on like a pile of very soft, like plant material, and it reflects different colors. And Quill, you're familiar with this because it's a pet that one of your relatives gifted to you. And this little ball of, it almost looks like flubber, but like rainbow colored flubber that like shifts in different patterns. It sees the crumbs falling on the floor and immediately begins to worm its way over around your feet and just like start sucking up the crumbs that you see like start to float in the middle of its body before it like slowly dissolves.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's
so
that?
no need to sweep. Your little ooze is like cleaning it for you.
Oh, it's just okay.
Okay, is this like a
That's
like
just-
a Roomba?
Is that is that how you clean?
No, this is
Is it a
this is my pet Olive. Don't worry, they can treat these that as a treat.
DJ Olive.
And it's the type of species this is called a nebula ooze.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting. Fascinating. And you live here?
Well, I sleep in the nest, but yes, I do live here.
Wow. I've never seen
There
such a
is-
place.
Where exactly?
Well, this is the Library of Constellation.
Oh.
Of course. Yeah, of course. I don't want to make an intelligence check. I'm just going to pretend I know what he's talking about.
Can I make an insight check to see if I notice that he has no idea what I'm talking about?
I'm going to roll a deception.
Roll a deception check and roll an insight.
Oh, it's not looking good. I got an 8 on an insight.
Don't know me yet. Let me see here. Where's deception? I get a -1.
Oh boy.
Oh, I rolled a 9.
No.
Yeah, you believe him.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
the very one.
1, yeah, of course.
The one and only.
The one and only.
Wow. And what exactly is what would you
For my friend
kind
here,
of
what
knowledge
exactly is?
yeah, what is the knowledge that is kept in the Library of Constellation?
Essentially everything in anything.
Wow.
I was going to say that.
And you would be the librarian?
One of them, yes. And we are, Lou, just to make sure, we're in my quarter, correct?
Yeah, you are in your section that you run.
Okay.
Okay.
This
yeah.
is the Chamber of Operating Deliverance. Essentially, anything items will appear here, and I am in charge of kind of making sure they're taken to the proper section of the library.
Well, oh, interesting.
I'm not sure what part of the section you two would belong in, so I'm assuming something's amiss.
I don't think we necessarily should be categorized in the library. if that means keeping us here.
No, I don't think we have a section unless my family's keeping something from you. We don't keep anything living here. We're not a prison.
That's good to hear. I wasn't sure if this was like a library of,
the damned or something,
living. Right. But I guess you would call us. Yeah, I honestly I wouldn't know the term for somebody that is living on the material plane. I would just know humans, yeah, and goblins. That's it, and some kobolds.
Yes. I like kind of take a look and just like you're not gods, are you?
I am not.
I hope not, because if I'm a god, I am very low-level god. So I really hope that that's not what God is, because
I mean, I might be
I
the
would think it's
god
a
of
lot more powerful.
the god of rock, where I come from.
Oh
an earth
He-
god.
I bow to him. Oh wow!
Some people have called me that. Not to toot my own horn.
Have a horn too? I thought you just had a lute.
I'm a master of many instruments.
This guy's got secrets.
Yes.
Or where's that? Oh man, I don't even want to ask where the horn is.
It's
Everyone has
kept in a
secrets.
secure pocket on my body.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah, the prison wallet.
Yeah.
It's a bag. It counts.
I see. Well, Earth God, I'm so sorry. Where are my manners? My name is Quill.
Quill, very nice to meet you. My name is Maestro.
Maestro.
Chico, you could call me Big Storky or Chico, whichever one you want. And it's also very nice to meet you, Quill.
Pleasure to meet you both, Chico and Maestro.
Chico is
and, like,
from the domain of the Fae, but is not necessarily a god in the realm. So we met each other and we were helping each other out and we landed here.
Peculiar indeed. Perhaps we should go speak to and Lou. Who do I think would be the best kind of hey, what's going on here? Probably like who in my family?
Probably Edith.
Okay. I like extend out like my feather and I like extend it down because I am very tall compared to both of you.
Okay.
So like I kind
Probably
of extend it
double my height. I'm 3'4", I think 3'6".
3'6".
4 feet.
I'm not exactly doubled your height. I'm 6'1".
Okay.
So
6'1".
Okay.
Very tall.
I am very tall compared to both of you, but not double.
Yes.
But I do extend it down, just like again, I bow. Well, clearly something is amiss. I suggest we go to the Hall of Judgement and speak to my grandmother Edith, and maybe she can help me and both you kind of shed some light on what's going on here.
That'd be great. Thank you.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah.
Yes, right this way, and I want to lead them
Sure.
to where we must.
As you begin walking down the long corridor with all the platforms on either side of you, you notice on one of the platforms a book does appear.
Oh,
which you're used to.
Yeah, I like stop them for a second, like, oh, 1 second, duty calls, and I like walk over and I pick up the book.
Judging by the look of it, it would go to your middle cousin, Camilla.
Let's see. Oh, this is, and I'm like talking to myself. I'm not specifically talking to them. Parallel universe. Okay,
Like how a librarian would talk to themselves.
Yeah.
Like categorizing. Yeah.
Well, this is not mine. This is Camilla's problem, and I wanna. How do I transfer information? Is it like, do I put it somewhere, or do I have to walk over there?
You would basically take it over, so it's up to you whether or not you go straight to the Hall of Judgment or you stop by Camilla's on your way.
I would like to stop it on the way.
Okay.
All right. Apologies. Right this way. We have to make a quick stop right before we continue. Trying to help you two out as I like look back at them, and I start heading towards Camilla's section.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hello.
Whoa.
So you go to the end of your hall and you stand on a platform, and the platform begins to glow before it teleports you to your cousin's domain. The Bibliotheca of Divergence.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, your cousin would be at the top right at her desk.
Oh, perfect. Well, new friends, this is the Bibliotheca of Divergence. Am I allowed to kind of give a tour, or
That's
is
up
it
to
like?
you.
Do I? Okay, so it's not like it's
Is
not
it
like
normal
against any type of, like,
decorum to like give people tours in the astral library?
Well, normally, they would be at the Hall of Judgment first, and your grandmother would decide whether or not they're allowed to be in the library in the first place.
True,
and
true.
after that,
Actually,
she would assign them a librarian to guide them.
Have I sensed any evil from the?
You can roll a perception check
Okay, let me roll a perception check.
or an insight.
Insight or perception? Which one do you want, or is it up to me?
Either or.
Okay, I'm doing perception because that's better. That only puts me at a 8 + 4, 12.
You don't sense evil on them. They're kind of giving you mixed signals. It's very confusing.
Then I won't say much about this place. I'm just gonna be like, sorry, just a quick stop before we go speak to Edith. And like as I'm walking down, I just call out, Camilla, are you here?
Yeah, your cousin will fly over.
Cool.
You see kind of like a plumper looking owl. She is like wearing like very baggy, comfortable robes that are probably like 2 sizes too big for her.
Okay.
Sorry. My throat gets all scratchy sometimes. Sorry.
Oh, no.
But Camilla like kind of comes over and like wraps her wings around you, and you just kind of like sink into her feathers. And she's just like, Quill, what are you doing here? Do you have something for me?
Yes, new book appeared.
I love new books. And she takes it from you.
Perfect. I like hand it over.
Yeah, she's gonna kind of like throw it up into the air, and a bunch of starlight is going to surround the book, and it disappears and appears on one of the shelves.
I like clasp my wings. It's like perfect. Yep, that appeared as I was and I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. It's like these two guests. I'm actually gonna go have them speak with Edith. They appeared in my chamber.
She kind of tilts her head like owls do, and she's confused. And she's like, well, do you mean that grandmother assigned you to them, or what do you mean?
Nope, doesn't seem like it. This giant red star kind of appeared. Much different. I mean, you've hung out with me in the chamber of apparating deliverance. I've never seen this before. They appear just right at my desk. I'm wondering if grandmother knows what's going on.
When she hears this, she kind of gets more serious. She's a bit older than you. Not too much older, but she kind of looks over at you two. And she's going to look at Quill and say, they can't be here until they've been judged. There's too many things in the library that could destroy many worlds if they fall into the wrong hands.
Eric just dropped out, by the way.
Oh no, did we lose internet? Oh.
Hello?
You back?
Eric.
Erikake?
Sorry, my audio
Oh,
just.
all right.
All good.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say
she
it made like a really loud crackling noise, and then he like cut out.
Everything's fine.
No, the cams are good. So.
All right, cool.
Okay.
But
yeah, she basically says that, those two can't be here until they've been judged because it could end worlds if they're not meant to be here.
right. That's I'm not letting them leave my side. But this was on the way, and I just wanted to drop this off real quick. I'm going straight to Grandma Edith right after this.
She nods and she's like, good. Make sure that they don't wander off on the way.
Of course. You have my word.
She gives you a little pat on the head with one of her wings, and then somebody is like trying to get her attention, so she flaps over to someone that needs assistance researching something.
Okay.
And she goes out over you.
I like clasp my wings again together, look at the two guests. I'm like, well, to Edith we go, and I take them over to Grandma.
All right. Do you guys follow, or do you look around?
I'd like to take like one look in this room before we leave. I don't want to like go anywhere. I just kind of like want to scan real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. What sort of objects or books? Like, can I tell what like the books are about or anything?
You notice that there are series and series of large bookshelves, and there's this like glowing starlight surrounding the shelves and the books themselves, and there's titles in different languages that you don't recognize. You notice that there's one book that is in common, and the title says When the World of Dragons Split.
Oh.
And you notice that there's just like hundreds and hundreds of books spreading out in different directions, and that kind of out of view there's like a large central area that almost looks like a step down area, but it's just covered with pillows, and the whole thing kind of looks like plush, almost like a giant couch, but in the center. You kind of get the feeling that based on the name of this area that you overheard and the title of the book, that this section of the library seems to do with like parallel universes. But other than books on shelves, you don't see anything directly near you.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'll follow Quill.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. Yep, I want to take them in the like most direct path without too much for them to like have their like prying eyes look at to the Hall of Judgement.
Yeah. Like, shit. Okay. So beneath, you go to the teleportation circle, and you kind of feel like a sudden like drop, almost like a very fast elevator, but it goes directly to the very bottom, and you reach the very base of the tower, which is so you hit the very bottom of the tower and you enter the Great Hall, which is a series of corridors that connect to a bunch of different areas of the library that you guys are walking past very quickly. You make your way down a series of corridors and you come to the Hall of Judgment. As you guys were passing the hallways, you do notice that there's just a series of different rooms that are just filled with stars. There's like windows every once in a while, and as you peer out the windows, you see like different parts of the astral sea.
Oh.
And you do see like a lot of like strange contraptions that look odd, but you're trying to keep up with Quill, so you don't have too much time to look. And as you round a corner, you make your way to the Hall of Judgment, where you see a large female older owl hunched over on a desk, and she's like reading a book, and she doesn't hear you come up behind her right away because her hearing's not what it used to be.
I want to like kind of make myself known, grandmother, and I like kind of like want to wave, and like if I have to make noise, I don't want to try to scare her.
Yeah. So you're used to your grandma and getting her attention, so she does hear your voice, and she's like, "Ooh, Quill, who? Oh, hello." And she turns around and sees that there are two people next to you, and all of a sudden she was like very hunched over, and she like sits up straight and hears like some cracks in her spine, and her demeanor kind of changes. She gets up from her desk slowly and walks down the staircase and over in front of you two.
Okay.
And she peers at you before she leans down to, because she's a lot taller than you guys and a lot taller than Quill, so she leans down to like be closer to your guys' level. And she says very seriously to you, "How did you enter this library? Where did you come from?"
We were in the Feywild, and we were in the fall, and we went to mountain, and we fought these crystal monsters, and then we found this key, and we found a portal, and we went through the portal, and then we crash landed foot of your son?
Grandson.
Yes.
Though you flatter me. I'm not that young.
So honestly, we're not really sure. We're not really sure how we got here. It just kind of happened.
She's going to extend one of her wings and kind of like guide you both around her, around her podium.
Okay.
And she's going to lead you up the stairs on top of, dragon boat, a pow.
Oh.
Yeah.
While
she's
we're
gonna,
walking through the room, can I get a look at what these things are in the room?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead and just roll a perception check for me, just to see how much you catch.
Hit it too. I'm gonna roll. It's /R.
Oh shit, 22. Okay.
22. Okay.
And a 12. So you guys notice that there's a series of these very intricately carved pillars that are made of this white glowing stone, and around them is the same golden stardust that you saw around the bookcases. With a 22, you notice that carved all along the pillars to the ceiling are these intricate little picture carvings depicting different instances of history and the universe. And with a 22, you will notice some symbols of gods that you have heard of, Maestro.
Oh. Okay.
A bunch of different gods. And as you walk past, you kind of notice that the pillars kind of like tell different stories of different gods, and you see depictions of planets. And
wow. When I notice the god, can I just kind of mumble, "Oh, that's whatever god," and I point over there?
Yeah, you will have noticed that it is a picture of a sun. So it is of the god of the sun. Palor.
Yeah, so I
have a
point and I go, "Oh, that's
list of them.
Palor."
Yeah.
Does
Oh,
the grandma
yes,
respond?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's Palor over there, the god of the sun. Do you know him?
He is the god of the sun where I come from.
Yes, yes. He's a very, very muscular man, very good looking.
You know him personally?
Yes, yes, he visits quite often.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool.
Cico is
That's-
like super uncomfortable. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So what exactly are those things with the what kind of business do you do with the gods?
Well, books, really.
Oh, they just rent
Knowledge
books from
and-
you?
Yes, or they give donations.
Oh, wow.
But first, before we get into that, you must be judged.
Judged.
Oh
Yes.
boy. So okay, I was worried about the whole like Hall of Judgment thing. But
Yeah,
I thought,
so
oh, it wouldn't
I
be
thought
that
that
bad.
was
But then
like
saying
a
judge makes it feel pretty
theoretical
bad.
judgment, like just person to person basis, like this is good person, bad person.
Well, that's a very simple way to look at it, yes. Yes, we'll
Yeah,
go with
simple
that.
is all I ever do as a goblin.
I don't want to overwhelm you. It's really quite simple. You just stand on this platform, and she leads you up the stairs, and you see kind of like a glass bottom where you can see the astral sea beneath your feet. And
Okay. What were
She-
to exactly happen? Should we be judged?
Say you're judged poorly.
Say
Is this open?
yeah. Say you get
And
like say you're bad at math, and you don't live up to the hype. What happens?
your family's not great, but you don't like your family.
Yeah, I come from. It's hard to explain.
Cico is like sweating. You could see like a
I
bird
am sweating too. The goblins are ruthless and brutal. We've murdered and pillaged everything.
My family is bad, and I left them because
I
they're
also I do not represent anyone in my family. If you can, I don't. That's not me.
Can I
Okay.
like come over and just kind of like peek as I hear this commotion go on? I just like want to poke my head out, as long as like Grandma Edith isn't like yelling at me. I just want to like kind of like observe.
she'll let you observe. She doesn't mind. You can move freely about the chamber, Quill.
Perfect. I'm just
she-
watching from a distance right here.
As you guys begin to like ramble, you're not really like listening to her. You start talking over her, so she suddenly lets out a screech, and the
Oh.
room goes dark for a second,
Oh, okay.
and then the
We
lights
quiet.
like come back on, and she's like, "Sorry, I don't mean to raise my voice, but enough, both of you."
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Of course.
Good. Now you just, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. If you're not supposed to be here, I'll make sure you're not here anymore. Now, just stand here. And
Oh, that didn't help. Sorry. Go on.
she makes her way off the platform. And she is older, so it takes her a while, but she makes her way up the stairs and then sits at her desk. And she fixes her ruffled feathers and she goes, "Now, just relax. This isn't. I'm not judging you. It's the library itself that judges you.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
The whole reason why you're being judged is because the contents of this library can be extremely dangerous if they fall into the wrong hands. Now, it is not up to us to judge whether or not what is right and wrong. What we are judging is how you would use the knowledge in this library. Whether or not you kill someone, or you run away from a family, or whatever fucked up situation that was. I don't need to know.
I like this woman.
It's quite personal.
This lady's got some pizzazz.
I'm very judgy. Hence the room. Now,
If I like
what you do
you.
with this knowledge matters to the universe. That not really so much to an individual world or a person, really. You could take this knowledge and destroy an enemy or whatever, or cure world hunger or something, but what matters is that you aren't going to break the balance with the information. And that's why you're being judged. So whether or not you're good or evil, it matters not. The ruler of the 9 hells comes here all the time too, as well as Paylor. It doesn't matter what your alignment is. It's just what you're going to do with the knowledge. So just stand there and you'll probably be fine. If family problems are your biggest issue, doubt that anything bad will happen to you. Now, begin, and the room goes dark.
I instinctively like grab onto Maestro, like hug him, like. Ah!
Yeah.
I put a hand out and grab like the side of the thing in case it opens and we fall.
Yeah. Yeah. In case the bottom just like disappears.
It just flushes you.
Wait, am I still seeing all this go on?
Yeah.
I want to pull out a second sandwich from my robes and start eating it.
Yes. Your grandmother reaches into a drawer and you see a small thing of popcorn come out and she starts to eat it.
It's like,
So the room dims and you see just a faint glow of the pillars, but the stardust around the pillars is kind of like giving off like a golden, kind of like nightlight vibe from each of the pillars. And in front of you, off of the platform, is this large bowl that's made of the same stone as the library itself, and it is it has like a lot of like gold filigree on it and stuff like that, and in the middle is this large flower bud that's closed. And as you stand there, the platform underneath you begins to shift very quickly.
sure.
And you see an image of basically Earth.
Okay.
You wouldn't have seen this before, but Quill, you recognize the images like the material plane, like where mortals would come from, and it's just like a image of the planet itself. And basically a series of almost memories flash as it zooms in on the planet, and you see instances of Maestro's life that were like pivotal moments. And one that comes into focus is an older man that's just covered with blood and bruises all over him as he reaches up towards almost like it's reaching up towards you as you look down. And you hear an echoed voice. Maestro, you recognize this. It is the voice of your teacher. And it weakly says, "Don't let my music die with me." And that echoes in the hallways before it fades. And the flower opens up. And you see a beautiful pink, like orangish fire in the center of this flower bloom. And the elder owl kind of like smiles, and the lights come back on for a moment. And she's like, "Very good. You are allowed in the library, little goblin. Come step off the stage."
Oh God, it wasn't even my turn yet?
No, it's
Oh
one
my
at a time.
God, why did I have to stand here? I could have
you're
stayed
next.
on the side. I could have been on the side. Oh
No,
God.
you're fine.
Oh, Edith.
I
You're gonna give me a heart
immediately
attack.
just get down when she says,
God.
Yeah. So you
I run off that platform.
go ahead and take yourself off.
And I run by
And-
Quill, and then I beg for a sandwich.
I offer him half. 'Cause
I just
know
sit
he's
down and look at you, and I just look at the sandwich.
I like rip it in half and give you half.
I graciously accept the sandwich. Banger sandwiches.
Good thing you weren't judged poorly. I don't need to say anything else. I just go back to watching.
Oh my god! I immediately stop eating, and I'm just like
Fucking-
frightened.
Just sweat again. Just rivers of sweat.
Yeah. I just go even more pale.
I take no note. I'm just watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Edith kind of looks over to you, Maestro, and she gives you a smile, and she's like, "You have a very pure drive. Never lose it. It's always good to have hope and a goal in life. Many people don't have that right at such a young age."
Thank you.
Well, I wish you luck, and I hope that the knowledge in this library can help bring you closer to your goal.
So that means I'm free to use the library?
Yes, of course.
Oh, wow.
If you wait a moment, I will assign you a librarian. But your companion here needs to be judged first. If they're permitted, I could assign you separate librarians, or Quill, you're not busy. I'll most likely assign you to them.
It's like, we already met one.
Your grandmother knows best.
But yes, let's watch the show. All right.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Begin.
Oh, God.
the flower.
Cico gives off a very high-pitched scream as soon as everything goes dark.
So as the lights start to dim, you see the flower burn into ashes and wilt away. And then you see a small bloom grow and a new flower bud appears.
My
Just
God,
as the
that's
light hits them.
terrifying, Edith. She was the same one.
No, each one is different.
Oh, my God.
The pillars and the starlight again glow and light the room. You see that the glass below you fades back out, and you see a series of stars. You see a quick flash of gold as the projection passes through something, and then you see an image of a very similar looking planet, but oh, Edith, girl, your voice is killing me. Oh, you old girl. So you see a very similar looking planet, but the colors are very different, and the continents seem to roughly be in similar places, but there are like geographical differences. You also would not have seen what your planet looks like, but Quill, you assume that this is the Feywild, and it zooms in on the planet, and once again you see a series of memories flash, and it zooms in on a particular memory. You see another bird creature, but this one is yellow, and they seem to be like a little bit taller than you and like looking down, and they put their wing out roughly like where a shoulder would be, and you hear a voice echo and say, "Listen, it doesn't matter what everyone else says. I just want you to be happy. And whatever that is, I'll support you. Just, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about what they said. I'm proud of you. And as long as you're proud of yourself, that's all that matters. You'll figure it out." And the voice echoes around the hallway before you see a quick flash of a bright light and the floor feels like warm under you, and then it zooms back out and fades. The flower opens up, and you see a greenish blue flame, and it crackles, and the lights come back on, and Edith kind of sits forward, and she's like, You're permitted to use the library, but with supervision. You are not allowed to go without a guide. Maestro, you're free to roam out of your librarian's sight, but Quill, do not let this one wander out of your sight. They can peruse, but before they enter a new section of the library, check in with whoever runs it and have them go over what this one looks at.
Understood.
She said her name, right? It's Edith, right?
Yes.
I say, or I think it was Grandma. So I say Grandmother Edith.
Yes.
Would any of the sections of your library pertain to music?
Oh, yes, so many. Many planes have music. Nearly every single one is inspired by some sort of musical influence.
Really? So there are different styles on different planes?
Oh yes, oh yes.
I get like super excited because like I love like studying different styles of music.
Yes, I'm partial to it's a world that's made of different metallic materials. It's kind of grindy, but it has a good beat to it.
I also love grindcore.
Yes.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to see that if Quill is able to take me.
Yes, of course. Now she looks over to Cico and she's like, I don't want you to take that personally. It just means that you have the potential to do harm with the knowledge, but nothing that would break the world. Just you should keep yourself in check. If you notice that you start to wander off your path, you should find someone that grounds you.
Okay. Off the
It's
platform
nothing
now.
bad. Yeah, you can get off the
I
platform.
fly up and fly directly up to... Oh, God.
The flower withers and
wow.
a new one blooms.
I still
didn't you
have
do
the
that
I still
before
have
I
the
got
sandwich
off?
in my hands, by the way, because I like stopped eating it because I was so scared that I forgot it was in my hands. And then
Yeah.
Cico flies over and just like eats it out of my hands like immediately, just gobbles it, just like
Just nervous. I'm a nervous eater.
Does he leave crumbs?
everywhere. Whenever
I-
he eats, like crumbs just like it just the thing he's eating just explodes because he's just like
Yeah.
I kind of just look for something like, Olive's not here. I start sweeping it up instantly.
you see that beak on the character icon? That's the beak that he has.
Yeah, I have a smaller beak that has some nice jewelry on it.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
different
Yeah.
bird.
He has a gigantic, like,
Yeah.
huge mouth.
You can
So
look
it's
up a
just normal.
shoebill stork and you'll
Yeah.
see.
Mhm.
Shoebill stork eating a sandwich, and that's Eric.
Yeah. I can't.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
For some
that
reason,
was-
like heavy, like breathing, like laughing, makes me cough.
That's
I'm
fair.
allergic to joy right now. But yeah, you've been judged, Maestro. You have free reign over any section of the library. You can swap librarians if you want to. Cico, you have to stay with Quill. So yeah, you can still go anywhere, but
Come
Quill has
on.
to be with you.
Well-
but like before we like
Again, everybody.
before we set off or something, I obviously ask her like
It's
we're
happened
still.
again.
in conversation. So
I think Eric cut out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would want to ask her how she thinks I would be able to get back to the realm of the humans. Is there a word for that? I would ask her.
The mortal world, yes.
The mortal world. How would I get back
or
there?
the material plane.
The material plane.
Yes. Well, it's a little bit tricky.
Would there be a way from this place?
Possibly. Would you mind telling me how you got here? I'm very curious about that.
I believe
Normally-
Cico could probably explain it better than I could. Because I do not come from the Fae, although we found a portal from the Fae.
Interesting. You see that door at the end? There's a large golden door at the end of the hallway, a little bit past the platform that you were standing on.
Okay.
Normally, anyone that enters the library comes through that door, no matter where they are in the entire universe or other universes. But that is the main portal in and out.
I see the dilemma.
Yes, the fact that you appeared not here is a problem. We have a leak somewhere, and I don't like leaks.
Well, what I can describe from what we saw, what basically happened right before we came here, was we were in a room with 3 huge statues.
The statue had a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had a bunch of different, languages in it. I wasn't able to read all of it.
I don't mean to interrupt, but do you happen to know what the cover of the book looked like?
Did we see the cover of the book?
Yeah.
It was a huge statue, so I assume we'd be looking up at the back of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that the image on the book would have been a moon that had a skull on the end of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a really nice, beautiful book of a image with a moon and a skull. It was not weird at all or creepy.
Can I make
Quill,
an
you will, yeah.
insight check to? Can I make an insight check to know what that is, or an Arcana check, or a History check, or whatever I might need to make?
Yeah. Whichever of those with advantage.
Okay, I will do
Your best roll.
Okay, good thing I have advantage. I just rolled a 1.
Yeah.
All right, that's an 18 with a 3 on Arcana. 20%.
Nice.
Nice. The icon that they described is uncanny. You can't think of another symbol that it could be. It's your family's crest.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, and is it off of our family and lineage, our family name?
Yeah. Let's see.
Swift Plume.
Yes, Swift Plume.
Okay. Do I know if we have in our specific family a book that may have been missing or something like that, or I definitely when they describe it, I know that's our family crest, but do I know anything do we have our own specific book that might be okay, hold on.
You do usually have a book that keeps records of every member of your family throughout history since the beginning of time. That would be kept in the Hall of Remembrance, I believe.
Is there only one of them?
Yeah.
I look to my grandmother with just kind of a concern on my face because that sounds strange to me.
Yeah. She is also curious by this, and she's going to ask, are there any other details? You saw a statue of someone holding a book, and you saw that symbol on the book. What else did you see in this room?
So there were 2 other statues, bow and arrows pointing towards the statue that had a book. There was the portal on the ground in the middle. Put this little crystal key into the chest of the one that was holding the book, the portal opened. And then we went through it and we found our way here.
That story sounds familiar to me. I was a little owl. I remember my mother told me a story that was similar to that. Perhaps. You should make your way. You should make your way to the unwritten archives. Perhaps there will be an answer there as to how you got here. Quill, I would like you to keep these two company and help me figure out where that leak came from.
Of course. I'll do what I can, Grandmother Edith. I'm a little still curious about the book with the statues. Would I know anything about that story, or was it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a history check to see if you can remember.
Okay, this dice is going away. That is a 2. I had a natural 1.
Roll
with a +1
20.
history.
I mean, your grandmother would tell you lots of stories when you were younger, and it's possible she might have mentioned this one, but also you read a lot of adventure novels, and you could be mixing things up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that dice is going to the jail. Where's my box for that one?
To dice jail with you.
Yes. Now,
put away for the day.
I understand that you're trying to make your way back to the material plane. Both of you, or just Maestro?
That's up to Cico.
I would like to not go back to the Feywild. At least not now. Because of the whole running away thing from the family.
Ah. Yes,
So,
that whole drama llama situation.
Yeah, drama llama. That's what we call it in the Feywild, yeah.
Yes. Well, if you help me find out why there was a leak in the library, then I will help you find a way back home. But the problem with that is, have you guys ever heard of the Veil?
I ever heard of
the
Veil? Would I?
Checks.
Okay, let me.
What is it?
It's
something we'd
veil.
encountered in the campaign so far.
No.
Was it?
Plus
history
3 to
check.
History, so
okay.
D20 plus 3.
The big fat 6 for me.
Woo! And an 18.
Yes.
With an 18, Maestro, you would have heard of a mention of a veil. The only one that you could think of would be the story of modern day creation. You would have heard that at one point the world was a lot more free than it is now, and that gods and mortals could freely travel between each other's planes. But once this veil was laid, it basically restricted access from the outer worlds to the mortal plane. There are ways for mortals to still access the world of gods, but usually it comes with a way to come back. Once you're on this side, if you didn't have a way to go back, usually you're stuck here. And that's roughly what you would have heard of, but you aren't too sure all of the details about it. You just know that the gods almost destroyed the world, and a being stepped in to prevent everything from being undone and laid down this veil and basically made it so gods couldn't enter the world of humans anymore. But that's the extent of your knowledge.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So Edith will mention, Well, there's this thing called the veil, and it's to protect everything. And in the simplest way I can describe
Oh,
it is
it's veil like not VALE. It's like a veil, like something that covers something.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay,
like
gotcha. Okay.
yes. The best way I can describe it is if that is here, you want to go here, but that's in the way, and you're here, where we are.
Okay.
And normally people on this side can't go to that side. For everyone's protection. That's why the Library of the Cosmos was put here, so the outer beings could visit it, but not be able to take the knowledge and destroy the human world with it. But
Interesting.
there is a way that I know of that could get you there, but it is very difficult. Since you came here a not normal way, normally when you teleport, there's a way for you to go back. And it sounds like what you went through, there isn't a way to go back there. So you're stuck here. And if you help Quill find out how that happened, I will tell you a little secret that I have that could help you get home, but it's not going to be easy. Of course, you're welcome to stay here in the library forever and become a librarian, but it doesn't seem like those are your pursuits in life.
That sounds awesome, but I do have prior obligations.
Yes. I would imagine so. Not many people can just drop everything and the plume of a hat and just become a librarian. It's a very involved lifestyle. Not everyone's cut out for it.
A lot of shushing, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very much. You have to have a good.
You get a lot of raucous gods in here.
Oh.
Who's the
those
loudest
sorts.
god? Who's the loudest god?
Who's the most? Yeah.
I think
Rowdy.
that would have to be Cord. Cord is his voice booms.
I'm also just gonna pretend I know who that is. I'm not gonna.
Right.
It's a god of
Cord.
storms and battle, honorable combat.
Yeah, I was gonna say storms and honorable combat. Yeah.
Yes.
Cord,
Yeah.
I know him.
Yes.
Has an interesting character. I kind of speak up as I finish my sandwich finally.
Yeah, you will have met Cord before, Quill.
Mm-hmm.
He is very loud. He doesn't have an inside voice. And
is he overall fairly like? He's pretty kind though. Just he's kind of a booming voice.
Yeah, he has a very like overbearing personality. It's very like in your face, but not like bad anyway. It's just it can be a lot.
Okay.
And he definitely like has this air of I'm always right, like arrogance about him. But he does have like a very strong sense of honor. And
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, grandmother, with the whole judgment thing, wouldn't gods be beings that ultimately could cause the most damage with knowledge of these things that you keep in your library?
Yes, that's the very reason why it's so important that they're judged before they enter the library.
That's a lot of power. You get to judge gods.
Well, no. We don't judge them per se. The library judges it themselves.
Yes, the library judges them. And
who built the library?
Oh, lots of people, lots of beings, lots of magic. Many of the gods that you see before you on the pillars help contribute. And
do they like have the answers to the test for the judging, or like well, we just we'll let us slip through,
No, very much not. If you're not supposed to be here, I make sure you're not.
Scary, Edith.
You don't grandmother in anyone?
You scare me. Hey, Edith. Edith,
Yeah.
you scare me.
Hey, hey,
I scare a lot
hey,
of people.
Edith. Hey.
Yes.
Before you move on, Edith, you scare me.
I have that effect on some people.
But like not in a bit like I'm scared, but it's like it's like a shark, you know, like how you're scared of sharks, but it's also because you like respect them because they're in their element. That's you, Edith.
Well, sharks usually only mess with things that they think are an easy target.
It's in my life. I've seen that as well. Yes,
But,
at least the
obviously,
sharks that
I'm
I've
not a
played.
shark. I am an owl.
Thank God.
Yeah.
My last
I'm an owl.
interaction with sharks was not very fun.
I'm sure. I wouldn't want to swim with sharks either. I'm not much
Thank
of a
you,
swimmer.
Edith.
I'm more of a.
We don't want to swim with any fish.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to swim with the fishes. No.
Have you ever seen a wet owl before? It's not a pretty sight.
Believe it or not, I have not.
I mean,
Believe it or not, no.
There are no owls in your family, Cico?
Oh, wait, I have some.
you have one
I have
owl,
one.
One
But
but
owl.
you've never seen her wet.
She doesn't go to the summertime very much.
Okay.
She doesn't like water because it's too wet.
She
always said if I could go in the water and not.
that you allow, and
She's-
that's too wet.
She always told me if she could go in the water and not get wet, she'd go swimming more. But
And that brings us back to the age-old question, is water wet?
You know, there might be a book in the library that might answer that question.
is there a book of that,
Wait.
Edith?
Yeah.
Probably.
To go back and help my family.
This is the first thing I want to check out.
Maybe then your family will fix itself with whatever. That's the missing puzzle to your
I don't think
problems.
they will.
Yeah.
Edith, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I didn't think so.
There's a
either,
lot
but I
of
was
there's a lot of
hoping.
problems there.
Anyway, Quill,
Oh, you don't like talk.
as you can see, I'm very busy.
Yes.
You got other stuff.
So,
to do,
is cereal soup Edith?
Well-
is cereal soup?
I don't
Chico,
have
my
time for this, unfortunately.
Wait, Edith,
I'm trying. I
hold
want
on.
to.
Edith,
Wait. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is there a book that answers if a hot dog's a sandwich?
I need to know this.
I want to
sure
look
there's a book on
inquisitively
it.
at like my hands of like, have I been technically eating hot dogs?
Roll for existential crisis.
But I want to
I
like,
just look at Quill like, oh, Quill, it's okay.
Grandmother, thank you so much, and I'm trying to like guide them out so they so you
Yeah.
can get back to work. But if they want to keep talking, by all means. Yeah.
We just keep on going, Edith, as we get shoot
I'm
out.
trying to like guide them out with my wings as like,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
And she
Scare
just
me,
goes
Edith.
like,
Bye.
"Oh, dear."
You scare me still.
You're a scary individual.
Oh, it's going to be a long day.
Oh, yes, it is.
All right. So you guys are guided out of the Hall of Judgment, giving clearance to peruse the library at your leisure, with a new
Except for
goal
me.
to help Quill figure. Yeah, except for you, to help Quill figure out why there was a breach in the library and how you were able to get there in the first place. Edith has given you a direction to visit the unwritten archives, run by your youngest cousin,
Mhm.
Hunter. Thank you. Notes. Run by Hunter. So, do you guys make your way directly there, or do you want to explore on the way?
I'm going to start heading there directly, and I'll kind of give them like a small tour. Just like, yeah, so this is a great hall, and we have different corridors that connect to all parts of the library. And I want to point up specifically. Well, since you're here, I can give you a proper introduction. This library, it lives outside of the plane. So your material plane, Maestro.
Okay.
We are no longer there, as you could probably concur. each star, as I like point to the ceiling, if you notice, is it changing right now? Oh, Lewis disappeared. But each star ceiling, it's an ever-changing constellation. So like the ceiling, unless it for some reason changes at the moment, it like kind of like is moving, right?
Yep.
Cool. I'm like doing that. So each star, it represents a plane of existence, and what we do here is we collect all that information. We protect and preserve that knowledge. And as you saw when you were in my quarters, if a new source of knowledge appears, it appears, well, where I am. And I am in charge of getting it to where it belongs. Which, where we belong at the moment, is the Unwritten Archives. And I want to like point down to the correct corridor if we have gotten there at this point, to reach there.
Yeah. So this is roughly kind of like an example of what you guys might be seeing. Like you see a bunch of books with the constellations on the ceiling when you enter the Unwritten Archives, and when you entered the other one before. There's just kind of like a series of ever-changing astralness on the ceiling of the halls and in the libraries. When you enter the libraries, there's just books everywhere, and when you're in the hallways, it's more of that white stone that you saw around you. But the ceiling usually always looks like different constellations.
When we go through the like hallways, it's like there's walls, or is it? Can we see out to space?
There's walls with occasional windows that like let you look into space, but above you there is space.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I would
it's kinda
imagine
like
it's almost like an aquarium, like when you kind of walk through an aquarium, but like you have like solid walls, and then like above it's just like this ever-changing sea of stars.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And you do see like a faint shimmer of gold dust every once in a while when you walk, and you recognize that as the same stardust that seems to be like holding everything together throughout the library.
Okay.
So you entered the Unwritten Archives.
Well, Maestro, Cico, this section is the Unwritten Archives, tomes of knowledge that do not exist. I'll have Hunter explain it better. It's his responsibility. Are stored here. Speaking of, I like. Do I know where Hunter would be, or do I just kind of call out to him?
You figure Hunter is usually at his desk.
Okay. You know, as grandmother said, shh, and I like gesture them towards where he would be.
Okay.
Yeah. So you make your way over to where Hunter's desk would be in the library, and you see a smaller gray owl that has these large, like, zoom-in, like, glasses that have, like, different lenses. And at their desk, they have this glass jar that has a bug in it. And they're just kind of, like, inspecting this bug with a ferocity. Like, they're just, like, studying it, and you see, like, a little quill off to the side, and they're taking notes. Around him... Yeah, go for it.
Oh, no. Just go ahead, sorry.
Around him, you see a smaller series of bookshelves that aren't glowing like the other books in the library do. They seem like more normal books. They kind of have like a homemade feel to it, and they look similar to what he's currently jotting down in. And there's also a smaller shelf that just has like different specimens in like little jars that are just all on the shelf with like magnifying glasses, and just a bunch of like little critters and like little journals on the shelves. And he doesn't hear you come up because he's so engrossed in what he's doing.
I look back at them like I like whisper he's busy, and then I just
You see, just this owl just gets puffed up in feathers, and like just almost drop what they were doing, and they like managed to reach down and like catch each other. Oh, you startled me.
sorry, Hunter.
What are you doing here? What is it?
We have a guest. Quite peculiar guest, actually. Before you ask, I've
They
already
usually are.
Right, but interesting thing, they're not a god.
That's weird.
Yes. Also, another interesting thing: they didn't show up to Grandma at first. They ended up in my quarters during my lunchtime, and ate half my lunch twice.
Sorry.
Twice. Both lunches.
Both
Equally
lunches
weird.
twice.
Both, all of that, equally weird. Every information piece that you just gave me was equally interesting and odd.
Right. So, but they have been cleared. This is Maestro. And I point to Maestro. He's free to roam as well. Cico here. I'll be by his side.
So, restricted access and full access?
Yes.
All right.
It's my middle name.
I guess that means I can't study this. So he gets up and he puts the specimen up on the shelf, has to kind of like hop a couple of times and then gets it in place. He's a much smaller owl than Quill. Still like a little bit bigger than both of you, but like about half the size of Quill. Gotcha. Sorry, I was like, what, reading? Okay, cool. So basically, Hunter puts the specimen away and comes over to both of you and hops off his section where his desk is and says, do you prefer to sit more individually, or is this like a group thing?
I don't really know what we're looking for. I'm not even sure what, like, would look for in here. I'm not really a book man.
I guess we'd say as a group.
I'll speak up and I'll just be like, Grandma said we should come over here. They're trying to find a way to return back to the material plane. Also, she's referring to them showing up in my quarters as a leak, and we're trying to find out why.
A leak? Interesting. Well, if you guys prefer to stay as a group, I'll take you over to the common seating area. And he's going to guide you over to the place in the library where you can sit together as opposed to sitting apart. I'll move you guys over to the place. Right there. So it's up at the top of the map. Hunter then is going to hold out both of his wings, and you notice that unlike the rest of the books that you've come across so far that are covered in that starlight, this one almost looks like it's covered in like a dark, shadowy substance. It's like an absence of stars around all of the bookshelves, and it almost looks like it's darker. And unlike the rest of the library that's like lit up by this like gold ambiance, this one is kind of lit by almost like ethereal green lantern looking things, and there's like this dark greenish glow throughout all of the chambers. There's enough light that you can read clearly, but it is a lot dimmer than other parts of the library that you've encountered. And he asks a couple of questions to you guys. Right. Tell me exactly what you're looking for. Like your purpose of being here. Now that I'm ready. And like he gets into position.
Our purpose for being here in the library?
Yes. Why have you entered?
I guess it would be to figure out a way to get to the material plane.
Oh, I'm so sorry. They came here by accident. They said they saw a book with the moon and the skull, and I just want to like eye him to make sure he understands what I'm talking about. Being held by a statue, which was pointed at by two other statues with bows, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
and it was in a crystal mountain.
In a crystal mountain, they didn't come here by choice, to my knowledge.
Yes, good. More details. As many as you can give me.
We were trying to escape the Feywild, essentially.
We were in the
Right.
fall.
In the
I don't know if
fall
that matters.
section of the Feywild.
Okay. Yes. Good.
In a Crystal
I'm doing
Mountain
something.
range.
There
It was
was-
next to a
we were-
forest that was chasing us.
Trying to
Mhm.
like trip us and shit, and like there were faces in the trees. There were these crystal monsters that pulled us into like another dimension, and we fought them.
In the Crystal Mountain, they pulled us into the crystals. Yeah, it was really strange.
All right. Both of you go ahead and roll a performance check for me.
Performance. That should be my best stat, I think.
Is that all of us?
Performance is +6.
Or just
If
that?
you're going to assist them in some way,
No, I'm gonna let them talk.
okay, then it will just be you two.
24. Dude, I'm
24,
getting some
very
banger
good.
rolls in roll
Wait,
20.
oops, I did it wrong. Sorry.
R/.
All right.
Christ.
With both of those rolls together, you pass the needed DC. Basically, the darkness from the series of bookshelves kind of like seep out from the shelves and along the floor, seep up through the ground and over to Hunter and envelop both of Hunter's wings. And Hunter closes his wings and opens them back up. And there's a copy of a book that he places on the table in front of you, and both of you recognize the cover as the same symbol that was being held by that statue.
Oh, okay.
That's the one. That's the book.
Good. It's usually it is. When it's not, it's kind of embarrassing, but this time it worked
Performance
out.
anxiety. Yeah, sometimes it's hard when
it
people are
happens to
watching.
the best of us. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of pressure being a librarian. But yeah, if you need any other books, let me know. That's my job. And Hunter sits down next to Quill and just kind of, like, not staring at Cico intently, but just, casually keeps an eye on him and kind of leans over to Quill. So where'd you find these guys?
They interrupted my lunch. A red star appeared in the ceiling. They also met Camille.
Mhm.
Camila, sorry. And then I took him to Edith. And again, the small green one is free to roam. The other one screams a lot and is a messy eater, but I think they mean well.
That was terrifying. You cannot hold that against me. Gotta know that's terrifying. Have you ever gone through that, Quill? Did you
Has
have to
our
get
family
judged?
gone through judgment? Or are we just like...
Not as intense as visitors, but you kind of go through like a coming of age
But you're
ceremony.
used to, like, gods taking it well. So it's like you've never
Yeah.
seen, like, people not take it well.
Is it- Answer me this, guys. Has a god ever screamed?
Over a judgment? Not that I
Yeah.
can think of. Perhaps you, Hunter?
I mean, I haven't heard them like scream. I've heard them yell and get angry,
Yeah.
but I have.
Or
I have
just
seen
yell
gods
like
be turned
Cord.
away.
Cord yells a lot.
Can you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
just say that there has been one that screamed to make me feel better?
Sure, there's one that screamed.
Can I roll? Can I roll something to make? Can I roll something
Lie
make
to me.
believe?
Can I roll for deception?
Please, can I roll something so I believe them?
Oh, to believe them.
Sure. roll a performance check.
Okay.
To convince yourself.
All right. -1. 15.
Oh yeah. You want to believe.
Okay, I strongly want to believe. Okay,
Yeah, you strongly want to believe that someone has screamed.
but a god
but-
has screamed in
Yeah,
terror.
the god has screamed. Yeah.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I like go
Helps
back to
a little
Hunter, and I'm just like, yes, again, they didn't come through the normal means. They're also not gods. Again, I think they mean overall well, so I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, overall, just kind of strange. interrupt my lunch, but Olive got some extra treats because of it. So
The only other time I've ever heard of a non-god visiting the library was a story that Doreen told me. So Quill, you know Doreen as your aunt, which would be Hunter's mother.
okay.
She go ahead.
Wait. So this has happened before?
Only once, but I've never heard of it. It's just a story that she told me about. There was this guy from the material world. I think that's the one of humans. And they basically wanted to use all of the knowledge in the universe to become a god. And
I look both of them. I look back over both of them, very concerned for a second.
What was the guy's name?
Not me. I don't want to be a god.
He was a human?
He used to be. Well, he was a drow, actually, but he was from the human world. He wanted to become a god, and he did stuff to himself to live forever, but he was alive but not alive. It was a long time ago I heard this story, but he basically surpassed being immortal and found a way to come here. And
Wow.
Has he been back?
no, actually, I'm not sure what happened to him.
Was he given knowledge to be able to become a god?
Well, he found a way to kind of become one, like almost a god, but not quite one. And Edith basically made it so they couldn't use the knowledge to hurt anything. But now that I think about it, I don't know if they ever left the library, but I've never seen them before.
Might still be here.
Is your mom busy right now? Do you know? Should we go? I can guide them, but should we go should we go maybe ask her about it during?
I don't think she's giving a tour right now, but I mean, you could always check.
Right.
You can't take the book out of my area, but you're welcome to study it as long as you're here.
Is there anything that we can read now that we have time? Like, is there anything else like that's changed with the book, or can I read anything else in it?
Yeah. On the table, you notice that there are magnifying glasses. When you open the book at first, you can't read anything. All the letters seem to be moving and jumbling, and it's not in like one clear language that you can understand. But Hunter kind of motions to one of the magnifying glasses, and when you hover over one of the books, it turns into a language that you recognize as you hover over the pages.
Okay. Google Lens.
Yeah. But you don't,
We have that in the Feywild.
Fantastic.
Quill, you don't need to use the magnifying glasses.
Right,
Just
right.
whenever you open up a book, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're perusing, it's a storybook. As you read through the pages, you hear of a series of events, and you're like kind of like flipping through it and skimming, like yeah, that's good, yeah, cool. So you're skimming through it really fast, but you hear of like different events of a city that was there, and then they angered a god, and the god used their powers to wipe the city from existence. And before it was destroyed, there was God, my throat. Sorry. So there was a city that was there, and a god basically used their powers to wipe the city from existence. And before the city was fully destroyed, there are a series of names with the last name Swiftplume that you read about the book that were there, and they basically gathered the information before the whole city was destroyed. And it kind of like tells the story of these kind of like, they're not quite assassins, but they go places where others cannot, and they collect knowledge, and they put it in their family's library, and it like lists like different names and different events. So it's kind of like a story of like these events that are happening. And it finally mentions one instance where basically there was a Swiftplume that was cornered, and they weren't able to reach their family's basically archive of this lost information. And there were two archers that were about to kill this member of the Swiftplume family. And basically, they knew that they weren't going to be able to escape. So instead of trying to come up with a way to get out of the situation, since they knew it was futile, they used their last bit of power to save this piece of knowledge and teleport it to where it was safe before it was destroyed. And in this selfless act, it basically shattered the area of existence that they would have died, and they kind of fell through the ethereal essence and floated through the astral sea, and eventually they landed here at this library. And it basically tells kind of like the creation story of the library, and how in this selfless act the Swift Quills were given the privilege of being the keepers of all knowledge in the universe, since they were so selfless in their act of preserving knowledge and had no intention of using the knowledge to do anything evil with it. It was just for the sake of keeping knowledge safe. So there are like a few gods that are mentioned, like Ayun and a couple of others that very much like their whole thing is like the seeking of knowledge and protecting it. They are mostly the ones that like lent their power to create this library, and it basically kind of like it's kind of like a little history of the Swiftplume family in essence, and like that's mostly like what this book is about.
Is there any mention of us going through the portal in the mountain?
No, it's just the Swiftplume background, right?
Yeah, it's mostly just that. It doesn't mention a portal, it just mentions that reality was shattered where the ancestor fell. And that's pretty much like the gist of what you get out of this book. You might have to find other pieces of information to help piece the full story together, but this is like the story of the Swiftplume family, since that's the book that you summoned.
And that's not like it goes up to a certain point. It doesn't go up. It's not like being updated.
It does. It continues. Basically, okay. It's the entire history of all the Swiftplumes throughout history.
We turn to the last page. Is it like Quill and Hunter are reading this book with these two random weirdos? Or is it like
more generational knowledge?
More generational.
It's more generational knowledge, up to... It's basically all of the knowledge of the things that were undone.
Like big events.
Okay.
Yeah, so big events of things that no longer exist. So it's like any instance that the Swift Plume family is involved in that no longer exists.
Okay.
And by no longer exists, you mean...
So, the Swift Plume ancestor that died no longer existed in the material world, and so their story is here. And
in the material world specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, the only place where this knowledge exists is in this library and nowhere else, which is why it's in the unwritten archives.
Oh, okay.
Two deaths when you die, and then when the last person says your name. The last person that says your name.
True.
Okie dokes. My brain hurts.
We are an hour and a half in. If you want to take a short break.
Yeah, let's take a break. I already know that this is going to be a 2-parter episode.
Okay.
And I'll let you know like when we're going to cut the episode, but we're about halfway through the first episode.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good. All right. Well, we'll be right back.
And get back to it.
And we're back.
So, you guys just finished the tome of the Swift Plume family that exists in the unwritten archives. You were basically given like a brief history of some parts of the Swift Plume's lineage. What about my camera?
It's still frozen. It's awesome.
On the fork?
Yeah.
Good.
Perfect.
This is the only image that people will ever need of me. It's just a fork in my mouth.
The wrong way.
I died.
Yeah. The wrong way.
I died as I lived with a fork in the wrong side of my mouth.
Okay, so, you were saying? Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Anyway.
Addressing the elephant in the room. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The fork in the mouth.
The fork in the mouth. The fork in the mouth.
Yeah,
Addressing the fork in the mouth, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys finished up that book. It's just like, oh my god. So you guys finished up the book. Hunter asks if asks if there's anything else from his section of the library that you would need help with. If so, he's more than happy to help you. Otherwise, he can get back to his specimens.
Is there anything that you would need, Maestro or Cico?
I'm more so looking for like things that would pertain to like my old master and music and stuff like that.
Is
not
there
so much like
anything
artifacts or
Feywild specific in the here?
Yeah. In
so
both of those
yeah,
regards.
those would be our, since we're like doing this sort of like investigation quest kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We would probably want to start like on backgrounds and then go from like areas, geographies, places we've
yeah.
Okay. So we will kind of streamline it. So basically, Hunter will gather up any information that you guys ask for. You just have to give him details, and a book will appear if it exists in this section of the library. So go ahead and basically ask the library a question, and Hunter will see whether or not they can answer it.
And this only pertains to this section of his, like...
Yeah.
Thing.
Hunter can only summon information that is relevant to his section of the library. So if it doesn't...
okay.
What's the exact title of the wing again?
The Unwritten Archives.
So, okay, so... Again, to reiterate, any knowledge, if we gain knowledge from this, it'll no longer be in the Unwritten Archives when we go out? Because
No.
we now know it.
You now know of it.
Yeah. So it would go into the library of knowledge of only one person or something.
Well, it would just go to the main library, or
Yeah,
if it
okay.
exists in more than one universe, it'll go to the other library.
Okay, gotcha.
Quick question, because I know Hunter mentioned about the drow who essentially ascended to like a demigod, like a half god.
Yeah.
If we have that knowledge in the library, but no one outside the material plane does, it would exist here.
Yes.
I want to bring that up. I want to try to find that drow if it's in here.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. So librarians don't count. If only librarians know about the knowledge, it would still exist in the unwritten archives. It's just anything outside of the library, it would move to a different area if somebody knows about it.
Okay.
So, you asked for information about the drow?
Yeah, Hunter, you mentioned Andre and your mother, the drow that the previous mortal that's been in the library. Is there anything can you find anything within your shelves that might pertain to that?
Hunter basically closes his wings, opens them back up, and you see a small little diary appear. And Hunter goes, "That's weird. Here, this must have information that you need."
Does the cover strike me at all like anything weird about it, or does it look pretty standard?
When you're looking at it, it looks like your aunt's handwriting.
My aunt's handwriting. Oh, okay. I want to open it up to the first page specifically and see if there's anything of interest.
So when you open up the first page, after reading a few sections, you realize that it is your aunt's diary.
Oh. I wanted to close it because I don't know if I want to read through my aunt's diary.
Yeah. So the question that you just asked will exist somewhere in the contents of this library, but it doesn't automatically open to the page. It just knows like, oh, what you're asking for exists here. It's up to you to find it.
Okay. So we probably want to speak to my aunt.
Yeah, so there is information about the drow that you just asked for, but it looks like the only place it exists is in this diary.
I'm debating if I want to read through my aunt's diary right now.
Yeah.
Or if I just want to go talk to her and ask.
Yeah, that is an option. You can talk to people. She is not that far.
I am going to hold that information for now, give it back to Hunter.
Hunter kind of like picks it up like oh, I shouldn't be touching this.
Yeah, I don't want her to yell at either of us. I'll just ask her myself when we have some free time.
Okay. And Hunter will make the book go back to where it's supposed to be.
I have a question.
Questions for the library? Yeah.
I would like to know the history of the god Elistray and its connection to the drow Hilda from the material plane.
That was a good question. All right. Hunter will close his arms and reopens them, and you see. So your specific question is any forgotten information about Elistray and how Elistray and Hilda would be connected.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it wouldn't be forgotten knowledge, but I guess the only thing that would come up from that question would be history on the god Elistray that people have forgotten. So anything that would help me learn more about Elistray would be cool.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's like any information that wouldn't be known.
Would pertain to Hilda that would be forgotten.
Yeah.
Because I also wanted to, if that knowledge was there, I wanted to like proc that chance.
Yeah. That is a good question. I'm trying to think if there's anything that like wouldn't be known. Because like even if it's a secret, as long as one person knows it, it wouldn't be here.
Right.
So that's why I'm thinking.
Yeah.
See.
But if nothing appears, we can always go check the tower.
Yeah, you can check other sections of the library and ask that same question, and something else would appear. I'm trying to think. The only thing that appears is a golden ring.
And that's it. Can I pick up the
Yeah,
ring
a piece of jewelry.
or study it? Does it look
Yeah, of
familiar?
course.
Can I roll?
I would say,
Yeah,
can
go
I
ahead.
also see if I look familiar? Like, was it anything that like appeared in my chambers originally that I've like sorted out with?
Is it investigation, Lewis?
Yeah, it would be in history,
History?
and investigation.
Investigation.
Yeah,
Okay. They're both +3.
either of those.
15.
Quill, you would recognize that this did not appear before you, so it must have been an older caretaker before you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know whatever this is, it's older than when you've been
Since I've
taking
been
care. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you rolled a 15 on investigation. You just see an inscription that says, "My everything is yours." And on the ring, sorry, coughing. So on the ring, you see an icon of there's like a moonstone in the middle, and there's like two little silver moons on either side of it, and then along the band are two daggers, and on the inside it just says, "You are my everything," or "My everything is yours."
My everything is yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
that
have
ring is the only thing that appeared in the unwritten archive.
Okay, I give it back. I have another question. What is the history of the lost one in the Forest of the Lost in the Feywild?
Ooh,
what has been
okay.
forgotten about that person?
Okay.
Because probably everything, because I don't know. I still know stuff, but
yeah. So you're asking about the specific one that played the clapping game with you?
yeah. Well,
Or
yeah,
did
that
it
had
in general?
that had the one in the cabin.
Oh, the one inside of the cabin.
Yeah.
So the creature that took the song from you.
Yeah.
Okay. And you just want to know like all information about that creature that has been lost?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
This episode really puts the DM on the spot.
I'm trying to think of
how do we break him?
Trying to think of like the easiest question to be like, what could you bullshit right now, Lewis? You know, like.
Well, other
Or
sections
you
of the
probably
library,
have
it'll be
some
easier
shit,
to answer. It's just this section's a lot harder because I have to think of
what does no one know anymore, Lewis?
Yeah, what does no one know? Yeah.
Yeah. Because like the other sections are a lot easier to answer because it's, just information that exists. This is like information that doesn't exist. Let's see.
We probably might have better success asking these questions in different like wings.
Yeah.
But,
I wanted the origins of the Philly cheesesteak.
But also, this is like the forbidden knowledge, kind of like juicy,
That juicy.
That juicy good,
Got that lunch.
Yeah. That apple bottom.
The boots with the fur?
Yeah, we're not trying to get rid of that. How do we get rid of that?
This is where all that wobble is.
So...
Juicy couture. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that what appears is a music box.
Oh shit.
Um,
Okay. I'm interested.
when
This is
you-
musical.
Yeah, yeah. A music box appears. So it's of this metal that is black, and there's stonework on it that's made of obsidian. And when you crank it and open the box, this
Play
tune
Soldier
plays.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Oh.
that Soldier Boy.
just a little dab.
Buh,
Just a little
buh,
figure
buh.
dabbing. Yeah. So this very
It's like
simple
steel
melody
drums.
plays.
That's so good.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah. Okay.
A very simple melody plays, and there is a
I want to play the melody.
little, yeah.
I have the perfect instrument. One sec.
There you go. Tone has disappeared to pull out forbidden instruments. But inside of the music box, there is a very small piece of paper that has been folded up a whole bunch of times. And when you like unravel it, you see what looks to be a child's drawing. And this
found it.
is like it's done with like almost like what looks like charcoal material. So it's like very minimalistic, but it looks like a child did it. And it's of a child and a what looks like a woman, basically. You know, it's a kid's drawing, so it's not the best. But they are overlooking like a cliff, and there's like what you gather to be the ocean. Is that a kalimba?
Yeah.
I fucking love kalimbas. Yeah. So yeah, you just hear like this gentle melody being played, and you find this child's drawing of a child and a woman overlooking the sea on a cliff. And that would be
Okay.
the only information that was pulled that is lost.
All right. So he might have been like the person depicted in that scene once before or something.
Possible.
That might have been like his family one. But it really could be anything.
It could be.
Okay.
But that's the only information that's pulled from that question.
I think those two questions were the big ones. And then forgotten knowledge of
Is there any forgotten knowledge about Archfey?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Is that what you asked?
Yes. Forgotten knowledge specifically first about Archfey in the springtime.
Okay, that narrows it down.
That's what I want to see first.
Okay, so when Hunter closes his wings and reopens them, your table is flooded with books. Just flooded, just like a series of tomes like come out from Hunter's wings, and Hunter's like, oh shit, that was a big request. Oh shit, okay. Yeah, that's the last book. It might take you a while to go through this. I have to put all that back at some point.
I forgot they don't just like disappear.
Hunter has to like take it. And,
it's okay.
like,
When we leave, it'll disappear.
No.
Yeah.
And I look for, is there anything that, do they have like names on the books and shit? Is there like titles?
Yeah. How about this?
What would you
Because
ask,
there's
like
so
a
many
specific
here.
question to just
Yeah,
summon the
ask a
book?
specific question and then
Because if the
roll an
book's already there,
investigation
it would
check.
just summon that book, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah,
say,
it'll
like,
reappear
all
in
of the
Hunter's
knowledge
Wings.
came out, and then you ask a specific question, it would pull the book from the pile and, like, present it, right?
Yeah, that's a clever way of going about it.
Is there any?
So, like, yeah, go ahead and ask your more specific question.
Is there any forgotten knowledge about Tuca?
Ooh, okay. Hunter closes his wings, opens
And
it back up,
Tuca,
and
out of character, none of us would know who that is, right? Like,
Nope,
none of
just
the
Cico.
other characters would know my questions either.
No. So when Hunter does that, 3 tomes appear out of Chico's wings, and he hands you your revised search. And he's just like, do you need the rest of those or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Hunter's going to start one book at a time, throwing them back into his wings.
I'm very sorry. I should have been more clear in my first
It's
question.
okay. It happens all the time, Master.
I'm not book smart, you know. I'm
Than I
street
would care
smart.
for.
Smart, you know.
All right. So while Hunter's doing that, you
It's
can
like-
browse.
It's like literally like Google, where you get like 2 million results.
Yeah.
It's just like,
It's
well,
like
shit.
50,000
But I'm sorry. I
pages.
should have put quotes around it. I
Yeah.
should have put quotes around it.
Yeah,
And then it narrowed it down to single page Google search.
yeah.
All right. Sorry. Oh.
Do I have to roll like investigation or something?
Yeah, because the information that you're looking for exists in those 3 tomes, but it's up to you to find it. So roll an investigation check for me, and I'll see like how much you're able to pull from the books.
Come on, motherfuckers.
$16.
A 16.
Not bad.
All right. Then let me pull up this real quick. Finding dirt.
I'll find that dirt, baby.
Yeah,
Oh.
that good.
Oh, that would be over here actually. Folders. I have them. All right, so you're looking for any information that isn't known about Tuca.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
While I was looking, I just want to like, because I'm supervising Cico, I just want to like speak up for a second. It's like, why does that interest you?
He's my father, and he's the Archfey. I want to see if there's anything that I don't know about him.
Your father is the Archfey? I say?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he's
you
the
don't
leader
know.
of the family.
So
Your family must be
something interesting
incredibly
pops up
powerful.
in one of the books as you're
Notice.
perusing through it. There is a story of your father who hid something very, very deep in the ocean. And in order to keep it safe, he basically used a spell on himself to forget the location of this object and what was in it. But this being the library that it is, there's a description of the location and what is in this box. The information inside of this box is one second. Sorry, I had to do some rolls. Okay, so basically, there is something inside of this box that could put your father's position as the head of the family in jeopardy. If this, yeah. So if it's basically evidence of a crime that your father committed that would disqualify him from being the head of the family. So if you were to retrieve this evidence and presented it, you could overthrow your father potentially. So go ahead and write that in your character notes.
Nice.
And yeah, you know the location of this object. And basically, like, at some point in the future, if you wish to go retrieve it, we can have a little quest around that.
Wow.
I was not expecting to get something so juicy from that one question, but
Dude, it's
man,
the unwritten archive.
It is.
It's so juicy. It's so fucking fat cock.
Yeah.
I'm smoking it right now.
Smoking big dick and ball.
Now, the
It's
other
big dick and
sections of the
ball energy.
library, the other sections of the library will also be useful to you. It's just this is something that even your dad doesn't remember because he specifically made sure that he would forget, so
Yeah.
no one would know about it.
Yeah. And then he forgot.
And then he forgot. But
Wow.
normal secrets that people have will exist in other parts of the library because somebody knows about it.
Okay.
This is the ones that even those people themselves have forgotten about it. Yeah, that would be what you pull out of those 3 tomes.
And so what you got was like physical evidence, like in the books, like you can keep them?
You know of the location of where this item would be.
Okay.
But
So it's just
is
the
that
just the
information
mental
that's gonna-
knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that information's going to stay with me when I leave. That's not restricted,
Yeah.
or do
That-
okay?
Nothing gets summoned that would be restricted, right?
Basically, you won't remember if it could potentially destroy the world, but
Oh, okay.
this doesn't seem
This
like
is
something
more about
that-
my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless your family's really powerful.
Can I? Okay, I have 2 other questions, and they might not do anything. I want to ask if there's any information about Zolotaya.
That was a good question.
And I look to Cico and I go, Zolotaya?
He's the head of the rival family.
Oh,
Did you
you
find
have a
anything-
rival?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Your family is at war
That-
with families?
War, blood feud. You know, potato.
I see. Many blood
Those
feuds were
damn
fought
potatoes.
between my families and other goblin families. I understand this.
So that search, one person in existence knows of it, so it doesn't pop up here.
Okay. And then I want to ask if there's anything about me that's not known.
That is a good question.
Yeah, that is a really good question. Huh.
Yeah. Is there something about yourself that nobody else
not
would
known
know
to
that
you.
you've
Not even
also
me.
forgotten?
Not even me.
Or that you
Not
haven't
even me.
but that you haven't like been privy to. You know, yeah.
That no
you don't
one
know.
told me
You
about.
would know
Like,
you don't know about yourself.
yeah.
You're not a real bird.
Oh my god!
Son,
All these
you were
feathers
adopted.
are just glued on. What the hell?
You start ripping off your flesh.
What the heck?
You just look like Keanu Reeves underneath it all.
John Wick? My puppy died and I killed
Agent
84
Jason
people?
Bourne.
Need to watch the fourth John Wick still.
I also
nobody...
do. Can't spoil it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something.
Christ.
They close their wings, open them back up, and there is a, how would I describe this? It's basically like a small tin box. Kind of like like holiday cookies, how they come in that tin box, and then
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a reused like tin box that used to hold something else. And Hunter hands it to you.
Huh. I really did not expect anything to happen. Oh boy.
Do you open it?
I'll open it.
When you open it, you see the deed of, there's basically this building, and this is like the deed that says that you're the owner of it, and the owner says Tilo on it, and underneath it it says new ownership, and it's your name.
And it was who does it say it was owned by?
Tilo?
By your aunt Tilo.
Does it have any information about like what the...
It's kind of like nondescript. It's just there's this building that exists that your aunt Tilo owned, but it's saying that you're the new owner of it.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Did you find something interesting?
My aunt gave me something, a building. She's passed away, so I never got this.
Oh, you
Doesn't have any information about where the building is, like anything like that.
Not in this tin box.
Huh. So she was the only one that knew she was giving this to me, and then she was murdered.
Yep.
Huh. Oh boy, I put it all back and I give it back to Hunter.
Okay. Hunter takes it, puts it back, and then continues to put the other books away.
So sorry, you're still...
Oh yeah, he's still gonna be doing that for a while.
So, deed to a building.
Yeah.
And Tilo. Huh, okay. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to go back to the Feywild at some point.
So you're a landlord.
I mean, I guess so now.
I
Huh.
wonder who would be keeping this knowledge from you.
So she...
Or what if she has been keeping this knowledge from you?
I'm assuming that this was like one of her last things that she did was make this deed out and transfer ownership to me. And then she was killed. And she never got to me. I wonder if she hid it so that my father wouldn't know. Okay. This has blown my mind. Two things have blown my mind.
Is there
Okay.
anything about me that I wouldn't know?
Real quick, Eric, for your notes, the name of the building was called Rusted Talon.
Rusted Talon?
Mm-hmm. That was the only thing on the deed was like the name of the building, the ownership, and new ownership. It was basically like a transfer.
Have you heard of the Rusted Talon?
Do I know about the Rusted Talon?
You would not have heard of it.
Is anyone just gonna fucking throw it out there? Anybody know of the Rusted Talon?
Would I know of the Rusted Talon?
No, I
Roll a
have no
history check.
idea.
Since I've just I have knowledge of
You're in like the
right.
all of the knowledge and the whole universe is here.
Out of all of the
history.
adventure novels that you've come across,
I have
have
a
you
plus
heard
one.
of
I got a 17.
a 17? Unfortunately, you have not heard of the Rusted Talon.
Unfortunately, I've seen so many different things and eaten so many different sandwiches and drank so many drinks. I don't know.
You sure know a lot about
What
sandwiches.
is a sandwich?
My favorite foods, actually.
Oh.
So simple, such an easy way to get all the nutrients you need and to one simple mechanism of a meal.
Which, for you, Quill, is especially ironic that a sandwich is your favorite food.
So, Quill, would a hot dog be a sandwich?
I asked that to Hunter. I asked, is a hot dog a Hunter? Lewis, you're about to answer the age-old question of the internet.
Yeah.
Whatever you say here.
It's meat between two pieces of bread.
What
It's a
about
sandwich?
Yeah.
one of the ends of the bread is connected, though?
Right, but so is a submarine
Have you
sandwich.
never had a Subway sandwich? Like connected on the end? Is it not just like?
Oh my god!
It's all coming together.
Meatball subs. Part of the sandwich is closed.
That's still
Like
my
the bread,
God.
they don't cut it all the way through.
Oh
They
my
leave part
God.
of that so the
True.
meatballs don't pop out.
Oh my god!
It's a hot dog sandwich. It could be considered a type of sandwich.
I like
like-
that this is forgotten knowledge, though.
Yeah,
Also,
47,000 books flood out.
Yeah.
the history of a sandwich.
Wars have been fought.
I use the finest ingredients for my sandwich, though. I want to point that out.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
These are artesian.
Whole grain bread. None of that wonder.
Artesian made.
Okay. I think I'm good.
Is there anything about me that I wouldn't know?
Let's see. Everyone's just asking the real questions here.
I might have one more question actually after this, but
I roll. No, there is at least somebody that knows of something. There's no information that has been.
What about
lost.
my teacher, Maestro?
I would say yes. I'd say that there's a couple of loose things of sheet music that appear.
Oh, I
They're
assume, yeah, a lot of
basically-
forgotten songs. Like songs he never
Yeah.
played for anyone.
Yeah,
But this would be
basically-
cool. I would, if possible, I would like to rent out these sheet music pages that appear.
You can't remove them from the unwritten archives, but you can take notes and keep your own copy.
Oh, okay. I'd have to notate them.
Do you
Yep.
have pen and
So
paper?
you,
Or
yeah,
quill and paper?
Hunter will basically give you some spare paper and ink that you can take with you, and you can copy.
This is
And
like
it's,
this is like, you know, this is like Beethoven's unwritten like
Right,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
The unheard masterpieces.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanna notate. I wanna take some time and notate some stuff.
While he's notating that, then I'm gonna ask Hunter, cousin, forgive me if this is too much for us to ask, as we are the keepers of this. Is there anything on here on Ayum?
oh, yeah. He basically closes his wings and he's like, "Before I open this shit, what?
Do you have anything that you can?
You want to know that down
You
for
want to
me?
know anything, or do you want to know
Anything and
something?
everything
Yeah.
about the goddess of knowledge.
I just listen, Hunter.
Do we need to
The
back up, Hunter? We might
goddess
need to
no,
back
no,
away.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
It might flood the entire
I-
room.
It's
You're my
fine.
cousin, and I love you unconditionally. But if I have to pull away
Millions
hundreds of
and
books,
millions of books.
Specifically, okay, actually, no. Specifically, I want to know
okay.
if about where her worship started.
Okay. I'll open my wings for that.
I don't open my wings just for anybody, okay?
So Hunter opens up his wings. Basically, there is one person that knows the existence of how her temple got started, so it would not exist in the unwritten archive.
Okay. Huh. You know, I've been here my whole life. I just never really thought about Ayum. Interesting. Probably because I'm normally assisting gods, and then I look back over to Cico and Maestro.
Yeah.
Maestro just like feverishly copying down music, and I don't know what Chico's doing, but I'm like,
A deed to an unknown building of music notes.
Yeah.
peculiar.
And you're
I
just
do
like,
also want to ask if there's anything about the rusted talon in here.
Okay.
Unwritten knowledge about the
Anything unwritten.
Yeah.
Or at least
Yep.
know that if I have to go to a different place to get some knowledge about that.
All right. Here, hold on 1 second. You do, but give me 1 second.
I feel like we could spend episodes in here.
Right.
Like, there's so much I would want to ask, in all of the different wings.
Well, I only have two, so
Save this. I'm like trying to politely cough, so I'm like politely muting myself, and then
yeah.
just shotgun cough, and I'm like, hold it, wait, okay,
I'm clear.
I'm good to go.
Smoking dick and ball.
as you do.
As one
know.
does.
As
As
one simply
one
does.
does. So, so you asked if there was any information lost about the rusted talon.
Yeah.
Hunter, does his thing, opens his wings, and basically, you find a series of ledgers and business plans about a bakery that your Aunt Tilo wanted to start.
Hmm.
And I start like getting out my instruments and I start like playing the different songs as I'm like writing them down and like figuring them out.
So there's. So it's just like so basically she was in the process of trying to open this place.
Mm-hmm. There's basically like kind of like hidden funds and like business plans and blueprints and stuff like that. It's basically like her trying to like piece together stuff that she would need to open up this bakery. And you're not sure if the Rusted Talon is the bakery or if this information just exists in the Rusted Talon and nobody else knows about it, but it's hard to say without actually going to the Rusted Talon.
Huh. Oh boy. Okay.
You just know that this is something that she didn't have a chance to tell anyone about.
Okay. Man.
Yeah. Kind of sad. An unfulfilled dream of someone lost.
And she was going to give it to me. Okay. Give it all back to Hunter again.
All right. Hunter takes it, puts back in his wing, and Hunter is finally getting like the last 10 books in his
Hey,
wing.
wait, Hunter. I want to go back to that Archfey thing real quick.
No.
Can you get all his books back out for us?
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Hunter. I'm sorry. I'm a jokester. I'm a jokester. Hey.
Yeah. You just see like the two wings, like I'm watching you. Puts the last couple books in his wings and kind of gives you a side eye. Right,
Eesh, tough crowd, huh? Okay.
Right. Is there anything else I can help you guys with?
Hopefully not.
Oh, I think you could go take a nap, Hunter. I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
Shit.
cousin, you've been fantastic. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt your studying.
No,
What
you're fine.
were you
Quill.
studying,
You're
by the way?
welcome. Oh, actually, I was studying this jeweled beetle that only existed in this one forest in the Amazon. But unfortunately, there was this meteor storm that happened, and it destroyed the entire rainforest. And the last two species of this beetle were destroyed, and nobody knew about them. So now they ended up here.
Oh,
And
fascinating.
I named them Gregory and I haven't named the female one yet, but I think the male looked like a Gregory. I'm going to try to populate them and have a bunch of jewel beetles.
Hell yeah.
Wait, the Amazon? What's the Amazon?
It's something.
We need not bore you with details.
Yeah,
Is that something I'm not supposed to know?
It's parallel universes, and just it'll give you.
What are you hiding from me?
Hunter, I want to know everything about the Amazon.
Well, anyways,
all of the books just spawn. Everything just spawns. Everything gets fucked up.
Just
Want to know everything about the rainforest? I want to know everything about Jeff Bezos.
I want to know what happened on that island.
Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself?
I have two words for you: Bermuda Triangle.
Oh,
dude, I was terrified of the Bermuda Triangle as a kid.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't know why, but so it's.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna come up in my life.
Yeah.
Then you hear about fucking rogue waves, and that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Just rogue waves coming through and taking shit out.
Yeah.
No one knows.
No one knows.
Just this library.
Just this library.
Just this.
Absolutely fantastic.
You have been even more than helpful, Hunter.
Thank you.
Good luck with Gregory and whoever the other beetle
and the woman.
Yeah,
Gregory and
when I name her.
We'll come back like before we leave, and we'll get that name of the female beetle
cool.
from you.
I'll probably have it. I mean, I was on a roll. I felt like I really got something with Greg.
Oh, you're shortening it to Greg now. You're on a shortened first name basis with Greg.
Wow. We've come a long way.
Oh wow. All right, I guess we can go.
Right.
We can go around.
Right. Hunter is going to escort you to the platform, and then we'll fly off to Greg.
All right.
Right. Well, I suggest we should probably go, I guess, to the tower. Actually, I kind of really want to know about this drow, but also they should be the one.
Elistre is
you
a
can
drow
either
goddess,
go-
so I would like to know about that.
Yeah. So you can either go to one of the other libraries, or you could go to the Hall of Remembrance, the museum, and talk directly to your aunt. It's up to you.
Probably would take them to the Gallery of Remembrance.
Okay.
As I'm walking there too, and would because if it's regarding art, is music considered art in the library?
It is a written art, so it would be with the tomes.
Okay.
But if there is like a recording of it or an artifact that has the music stored in it, like that music box that had the music in it, that would be in the artifact section because it's an actual item.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. There was no written version of that musical song. It only existed in that music box, so it goes to the artifact section.
Oh, okay. We're gonna go speak briefly to my aunt during. Also, you guys might find this part of the library quite fascinating. Less words to look at.
Good for me. I don't like words. I was always more into picture books.
Well, a lot of pictures here.
I was always
I like to create my own stories.
I was always a man of action.
Mise en scène.
And yeah, I take him over to the Gallery of Remembrance.
Yeah. So you guys enter. Oh, sorry. You guys enter the Hall of Remembrance, where Doreen, your aunt, is the, I believe the word is curator, the person that runs it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him don't come for me. I don't know museum terms, so if I get something wrong.
No, you're good. It'd be curator.
All right, cool. I don't know that the curator person.
Curator is somebody that designs exhibits, though.
Yeah, she does that. So there you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Shut up now.
There you go.
I got it right. Shut up.
Yep.
Shut up.
Anyway, you see a series of statues in this section.
Dude, this is nuts.
That was a big one, Lewis. Damn. That one just kept fighting back.
All right. So you see a series of statues, and there's some kind of like sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
So there's either like actual like brass or stone or golden statues, or there's sculptures and like more like physical art is in this section. But you do see that there's another part of the museum past your aunt, and you do see your aunt kind of standing in the middle, looking at this one suit of armor that is just encrusted in jewels and gold.
Jeez.
As I'm walking in,
she's polishing part of it. She would be over here.
Yes, welcome to the Hall of Remembrance. Aunt Doreen, and I want to say it very calmly. I'm not going to cough loudly. I'm going to try not to startle her because I don't want to break anything in here.
And she's polishing. She's like, oh, hello. Hi, Quill.
Hello. I have two guests. Quite interesting guests, actually. They're not deity.
Wonderful. Something new. And she'll fly directly in front of you both. She is actually about Maestro's height. She's very small.
Okay.
So she's like roughly your height, and she's just this little brown owl with like very big, curious eyes. Oh God, sorry, some ASMR for the people with the headphones. Just so she has like really big, curious eyes, and she has like a very pleasant like tone and personality, and she's very clean and well kept. Every feather is like in place. She's very put together, and you see that everything in the museum is spotless. And she looks at you both and says like, oh God, sorry. Before we begin the tour,
Okay, miss?
Yes, I'm fine. I just need some tea.
Smoking that fat cock and ball. Dude.
I would appreciate it if you didn't talk to my aunt like that.
I don't smoke out of a bong. I smoke out of a dong.
A fat one. A fat dong.
A fat dong.
So she says, before we begin our tour, there's a few rules that I would like to go over with you. First of all, there's no touching anything under any circumstances. You can look, but do not touch anything, and stay behind the red ropes. I didn't
like
draw it on
stanchions.
the actual map, but yeah, each item has basically red ropes.
Stanchioned off.
Separate.
Right.
Yeah, sectioned off. So keep behind those. Don't reach over, touch anything. obviously, if you don't touch something, you can't take something. No taking anything. If you have any means of capturing images, you can do so, but nothing with a flash. My eyes are sensitive.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Migraines are terrible.
Yeah, it happens. Yes. Also, no feeding the animals.
There's animals.
No feeding the animals. They're fat enough as it is.
Yeah.
But I have
Okay.
them on a very strict diet. They have all the nutrients that they need. They don't need
You feed them
treats.
sandwiches?
Yeah, maybe.
Specially made sandwiches for each
Listen,
animal.
My whole grain seed bread has all the essential nutrients and vitamins.
You make
that
bread.
I make bread.
Bread. Oh, you're very good.
I'm a big fan of the bread.
I'm a big fan of your bread. It's very good, Doreen.
Are you? I work
Yes.
very hard on my bread. It's a secret recipe.
If you could give us some for the road
and find that recipe.
Yeah, if
Well,
you could give us some for the road, that would be
Or if you could just give us, maybe like a loaf for the road.
Well, that would be in the nest. I mean, you could probably grab your loaf. Also, while I'm on the subject, no food or drink in the museum.
Oh, buddy.
You would get crumbs everywhere.
Under no circumstances, and definitely no crumbs.
Right. Okay.
Did I get everything in the hall? Oh, I hope grandma's not mad at me.
Oh, God. There's like a single crumb still on one of your feathers.
I slowly grab the crumb and like eat it off of his like back.
Yeah.
She just like eyes the floor as a couple of crumbs fall on the floor. She's like, "We should get that sorted before we start our tour."
I am so sorry, Andorine. And I like push him back out onto the hall. I'm like, present yourselves better. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a rude host. And I start also like making sure I'm cleaned off.
You're making me look bad in front of my aunt.
And like I wanna go through each of them too. If I see anything, I just like use my feathers like a duster and just start like
picking out little.
You're like that kid that brought a friend home for the first time and now you're embarrassed.
Yeah. You gotta clean your shoes better, bro.
I don't want my family to know I'm weird. Get together.
Come on, little bro.
I wish I had like prestidigitation or something like that.
Yeah. Oh wait, do I have prestidigitation?
I think I do.
There you go. Excellent time to whip out that spell.
I believe I have it, but I don't have it.
Oh no! I swapped it out. I swapped it out.
Prepared.
I swapped it out for vicious mockery.
Damn. All right. Well, I just finished dusting them off as best I can.
Right.
I literally just got that like bard skill. Like I'm able to swap out cantrips, and I swapped it out. Yeah.
Don't need this shit until you do.
Excuse me.
Actually, you guys make yourselves presentable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like slick
roll
my
a
hair
performance
back.
check for me. See how
Perfect.
presentable you make yourselves, or if the ant is going to
Beautiful.
be judging you the whole time.
That's another negative or -1 for me. So let's
It's
see.
what is it? Persuasion?
Performance.
Performance +6.
No.
I got a 9. I work here.
I got a
16.
She doesn't even go here. Got a 13.
Yeah. You guys look decent. Quill, you're a little bit stressed, so like some of your feathers are out of place. You're like visibly nervous.
What happens when we're around
Look,
us?
I am used to showing around much more powerful beings.
And put together
Not as
people.
chaotic.
And I've never seen someone scream. Actually, no, I have seen someone scream "sorry" during judgment before.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just the one. It was Greg.
Wait, the beetle?
The beetle
Greg?
screamed.
Yeah, they know how to get judged before coming.
Yeah. Everything enters through that portal.
Yep, everything. All right, so Doreen will kind of like eye you guys up and down, and she's like, "Well, this way." She's going to start guiding you. Hold on.
Massive.
Just a massive dong.
The most,
Dude,
the most massive.
it's like out to here.
So she's going to begin by showing you guys some of these statues that are made of marble. They are basically the Hall of Remembrance is where. Let me put the description for it. Load. So basically, in the museum, there are works of art.
The way your cam is
statues
frozen is
of-
amazing.
Oh no, is my like eyes closed or
Yeah.
something?
Just faded off that dong. just so lit, dude. Just so lit.
Super faded, bro.
It's better than the fork being the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Or is it?
So there are works of art in here. There are statues of past clan members as a memorial to them. There are depictions of people who have impacted the library directly or have made significant donations. Or there are actual donations themselves. So either like images of people or gods, or there's actual pieces of art that those gods have donated. So you do see several depictions of different deities. Some that look male, some that look female, some that don't look like either. Some of them look like beasts, some of them look more human, elven, some of them look like kind of like animals with different features, some look demonic. You see depictions of the heads of dragons. Let's see. You see one where it is a series of vines and like a giant eye in the middle. You see. Sorry. Oh, the cough kills me. But yeah, you just see a bunch of different gods, and you see different owl people. Some of them are wearing like different styles of robes. Some of them look more assassin-like, like they're dressed in non-scholarly robes, and like they look more like sleek, and like they kind of look like they might not be up to any good. So like they have different styles of garb.
Okay.
But a lot of them look like they're wearing like scholar robes. But there's a few that, you know, look like they are dressed up like a scholar too. Go for it.
Is there a statue of Ayum?
There is.
I just want to like look at it and like bow.
Yeah,
Is there a statue of Elistra?
there is.
Ooh. What does that look like?
All right. It is a kind of like a sculpture, and it's almost like you know how ballerinas are like on the tip of their toe?
Yeah.
So the base of the statue has like the Elistray's foot, and it looks like she's flying, but like it's balanced in a way, so it looks
Okay.
like she's hovering, and she has like very long hair that kind of like covers her up,
Mm-hmm.
just the naughty bits, and she's holding a long sword, and behind her is a moon,
Oh, okay.
and it looks like she's kind of like dancing under the moon naked,
Is there
holding a sword.
are there any labels on the statue or around the statue?
Yeah, it will say let me see what it would say. Wait. It says Elistray in gold letters. It will also say the Dark Maiden, the Lady of Dance,
Okay. The Lady of
the
Dance.
Masked Lady. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. So Elistray.
Would it be would there be like a description on depicting the scene?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I keep coughing.
All good.
You're fine.
The description of the scene is Elistray's freedom under the moonlight.
Okay.
So it's basically depicting when Elistray gained her freedom, and this was her first dance of freedom under the moonlight.
Okay.
Yeah,
if I ask
Yeah.
Doreen about this statue, would she be able to tell me more?
Yeah, absolutely. What particularly would you like to know? Do you want to know about
Like
the
her
artist who
freedom or
created the
why?
piece? Oh,
No,
you
just
want to
about
know
the
about
god.
Elistray?
Yeah.
Sure, of course. Let's see. Elistray is a chaotic good goddess of Drow. Um, she roams over beauty, song, dance, freedom, moonlight, sword work, hunting, and bows and arrows. Let's see. She's basically giving you the spark notes.
Okay.
She is a patron protector of dark elves who are freed and are at peace with other races. She is the mother of those who have cast aside Loth, her enemy. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just like getting a brief summary of the stuff.
Yeah, no problem.
She is the daughter of Loth, and so basically, Elistray is the daughter of Loth, and while a group of evil deities assaulted her home, her mother basically sided with the evil deities and helped them enter the home as part of a siege. And because of this treachery, Elistray, oh, not Elistray, Loth accidentally hold on. Oh, so basically, Elistray was trying to kill one of the evil deities, and she accidentally almost shot her father while Lolth actually killed Elistray's father in the process, and because what Elistray did weakened her father to the point where Lolth was able to kill him, she shared that guilt, and when Lolth was banished from their homeland, Elistray also left out of guilt. Because she feels like if she didn't wound her father wouldn't have been weakened enough to die.
Okay.
Yeah, she joined her mother in exile from their homeland, which is basically the heaven of elves, if that makes sense.
Interesting. And when she gained freedom, that would be after?
Yeah.
Or would that be the exile?
So she basically also left because she knew that the Drow. So the Drow were the elves that took the side of Lolth during this conflict in their homeland, and they turned from elves to Drow.
Right.
And in order to help guide those lost souls that she knew that would need her light, she also left to become like a counter thing for them to follow. So if they didn't want to follow Lolth, they could at any point leave and follow her instead.
Okay.
And she would help guide them out of the dark and into the light.
Okay. Gotcha.
And yeah, and help them, like restore themselves.
Okay.
Let's see.
And so the statue's depicting the first dance after that exile?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Very cool.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
It is 6 o'clock, so we might want to wrap up soon.
Yeah. That's pretty much like what you would get out of Elistray's statue. So the other statues are basically just other gods, other things. But we will continue you guys exploring the museum.
I forgot you guys are PST. Did you say 6 o'clock your time, Greg, or 6 o'clock my time?
Your time.
Oh, yeah. My time. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 3 o'clock our time, and we're going to wrap up today's episode, and we will continue with you guys finishing up exploring the museum and go from there.
Fuck yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Watch this turn into a 4-part episode.
Yeah.
Listen, it happened.
Dude.
We'll go back to Hunter and ask like 17,000 more questions.
we can ask questions like out of like stream too to like make it easier
if we have anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. And we'll be back soon. If you guys want, we can meet next week, or we can do another 2 weeks.
Probably 2 weeks.
Okay.
I have stuff next weekend.
Okay, sounds good. Then that'll be the weekend of the 29th.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Sounds good. Thank you. See you all later. And then we should be good.